My beloved child, listen carefully. This is not a random moment. This is not just another message passing through your screen. Archangel Michael steps forward now because something inside you has reached a threshold. A higher level within you is ready, prepared, trained, waiting, but it has been dormant for one reason only. You have not fully noticed what is happening now. And hear this clearly: the window to awaken it is open, but it will not remain open forever. There are moments in life that look ordinary on the surface but are carrying divine weight underneath. This is one of those moments. You may feel a strange pressure in your chest, a subtle restlessness in your spirit, or an unexplainable sense that something is about to change. That feeling is not anxiety, it is activation energy. Archangel Michael says this is the signal that the next level within you has moved from preparation into readiness. You have survived cycles that were meant to break you. You have walked through confusion, delays, and emotional fatigue not because you were weak, but because you were being strengthened quietly. The higher level within you could not awaken while you were still depending on old patterns, old reactions, and old identities. That version of you had to be exhausted first. And now here you are. Pay attention. The signs around you have shifted. Conversations feel different. Silence feels louder. You are noticing small things that never stood out before. Random interruptions. Sudden pauses. Unexpected realizations. Archangel Michael says these are not coincidences. They are markers. Heaven is tapping the glass of your awareness, asking one question: are you present enough to see what is unfolding right now? This activation does not begin with noise. It begins with noticing. Noticing how certain doors feel heavy even when they are open. Noticing how some people no longer fit the frequency you are stepping into. Noticing how your tolerance for distractions has dropped. These are not losses. These are upgrades. The higher level within you requires a sharper awareness, and that awareness is being trained in real time. But hear this warning gently and clearly. This level does not activate later. It does not activate when things calm down. It activates only in the present moment. Archangel Michael says many miss their elevation because they are mentally living in yesterday or emotionally negotiating tomorrow. Meanwhile, the activation code is hidden in what is happening now, in the conversation you almost ignored, the pause you tried to rush past, the inner nudge you dismissed. There is a spiritual window opening over your life. It is not measured by clocks, but by obedience and attention. The moment you choose to slow your reaction and sharpen your perception, the lock begins to turn. That is why distractions have increased. That is why your mind has been noisy. The enemy does not fear your future plans. He fears your present awareness. Because awareness is the switch. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian of thresholds, and he says you are standing at one now. On one side is the familiar version of you, capable, gifted, but operating below capacity. On the other side is the awakened version of you, clear, decisive, protected, and spiritually authoritative. The difference between the two is not effort. It is recognition. Notice what drains you immediately. Notice what energizes you without explanation. Notice the patterns repeating for the last time. These are not random cycles, they are exit signs. Heaven is highlighting what must be released so the higher level has room to rise. You cannot carry old weights into a new altitude. You may feel unmotivated for things you once chased. That is not laziness. It is alignment correcting itself. You may feel drawn to silence, to reflection, to stepping back. That is not isolation. It is recalibration. Archangel Michael says the warrior does not sharpen the sword in the middle of battle. He sharpens it before the next one begins. This message finds you because you are ready to see. Not someday, not later. Now, the activation responds to your attention. When you stop numbing yourself, when you stop rushing past your intuition, when you stop doubting the quiet knowing in your spirit, the moment you truly notice, the higher level responds. Do not underestimate this moment. Windows like this do not announce themselves loudly. They whisper. They invite. They test awareness. And once they close, the lesson must be learned the hard way. But Archangel Michael says you have been spared that path if you choose presence over panic. Stay here. Stay aware. What comes next will only make sense to those who are paying attention. Beloved soul, there is something unfolding beneath the surface that cannot be rushed, and Archangel Michael wants you to understand why the timing feels so precise right now. You are not late, and you are not early. You are positioned. What you have been sensing as pressure is actually alignment tightening around your destiny. When alignment tightens, distractions scream louder, doubts speak faster, and impatience tries to take control. This is how you know the activation is close. You are being trained to notice before you move. In the past, you reacted quickly because survival demanded it. But now, reaction is no longer your assignment. Discernment is. Archangel Michael says the higher level within you does not respond to emotional impulses. It responds to clarity. That is why situations have slowed down in strange ways. Delays are not denials here. They are filters. Every pause is separating what belongs with you from what cannot go further. Pay close attention to what has been repeating lately. Not repeating to trap you, but repeating to test whether you finally see it. Patterns show up again only when the lesson is ready to be mastered. You are no longer meant to ask, why does this keep happening? You are meant to ask, what am I being shown now that I missed before? The moment you ask the right question, the higher level within you leans forward. Archangel Michael speaks of authority returning to your voice. That is why you have felt moments where you want to speak truth but hesitate. The hesitation is not fear, it is refinement. Heaven is adjusting your tone, your timing, and your power. When you speak from the awakened level, words do not argue, they land. Silence follows them. Respect follows them. And that authority is unlocked through awareness, not volume. You may have noticed that certain relationships now feel heavy even when nothing is wrong. That heaviness is not guilt. It is incompatibility with where you are going. The higher level within you cannot be sustained in environments that require you to shrink, explain, or overextend. Archangel Michael says you are being trained to choose peace over approval, even when approval feels familiar. There is also a warning wrapped in this message. If you ignore what is being revealed now, you will still reach your destination, but through unnecessary resistance. Awareness shortens the journey. Avoidance lengthens it. This is why your intuition has become louder. This is why restlessness shows up when you try to distract yourself. Your spirit knows the window is open, and it does not want you asleep during an awakening. Notice how your standards are changing. You no longer tolerate half-truths, vague promises, or unclear energy. That is not you becoming difficult. That is you becoming precise. Precision is required at higher levels. Archangel Michael says this precision will protect you from future battles you will never have to fight. Right now, your role is simple but sacred. Observe without judgment. Listen without rushing to respond. Act only when clarity settles, not when emotion spikes. This is how the activation stabilizes instead of burning out quickly. Many awakenings fail because people confuse intensity with readiness. You are being taught sustainability. And hear this clearly. This message is not just for you. There are others who are standing at the same threshold but cannot see it yet. When you like this message, when you share it, when you comment your agreement, you are not supporting a video. You are signaling the algorithm to carry this awakening to souls who are still confused about what they are feeling. Subscribe to this channel if you want to stay aligned with these timely messages, and if your spirit feels led, join the membership so you can stay connected to this stream of guidance without interruption. Your engagement is part of the assignment. Archangel Michael reminds you that recognition always comes before reward. The world teaches effort first, then elevation. Heaven teaches awareness first, then authority. That is why nothing dramatic may have happened yet. The drama is internal. The shift is internal. And internal shifts write external timelines faster than you expect. Do not be discouraged if others do not understand what you are prioritizing right now. Explanations are not required when alignment is in progress. Those meant to walk with you will adjust naturally. Those who cannot will fall away quietly. Trust the sorting process. It is gentle because you have matured. The next phase will require courage, but not the loud kind. It will require the courage to pause, to wait, to say no without guilt, and to say yes without fear. Archangel Michael says this courage is already forming inside you. You feel it when you stop overthinking and simply know. Hold your focus here. The deeper revelation connected to this activation is closer than you think, and once you see it, everything will click into place. Stay with this message a little longer. What comes next will clarify what you have been sensing but could not yet name. Chosen one. Archangel Michael draws closer now because the atmosphere around you is shifting again. This is the phase where clarity begins to replace confusion, but only if you are willing to release what feels safe yet no longer serves your ascent. The higher level within you is not just ready to activate, it is ready to govern. And governance always requires surrender. Not surrender to people, not surrender to fear, but surrender to truth. You are beginning to notice that your reactions are slower, more intentional. This is not hesitation. This is mastery forming. In earlier seasons, you reacted because you had to protect yourself. In this season, you respond because you are learning how to command peace. Archangel Michael says the awakened level within you does not rush to prove itself. It stands still and lets truth reveal itself. There is something important being revealed right now about your environment. Certain situations are exposing themselves without you having to confront them. Masks are slipping. Intentions are becoming visible. This is not coincidence. This is the fruit of awareness. When your perception sharpens, deception can no longer hide comfortably around you. That is why some people may suddenly act distant, defensive, or uncomfortable. Light does not argue with darkness. It simply reveals it. You may also feel a strange grief, even though nothing bad has happened. This grief is not loss. It is separation. You are grieving versions of yourself that can no longer go with you. Old dreams that were born from survival instead of purpose. Old habits that once protected you but now limit you. Archangel Michael says honor that grief, but do not live in it. Thank it, then release it. The higher level within you requires integrity between your inner world and your outer choices. That is why hypocrisy feels unbearable to you now, even in small forms. You cannot say one thing and do another anymore without feeling spiritual friction. This friction is holy. It is alignment correcting you gently before misalignment costs you deeply. Right now, heaven is watching how you handle small decisions. Not the big dramatic ones, but the quiet daily choices. Who you give your attention to, what you tolerate in conversations, how you speak to yourself when no one is listening. These moments are where authority is trained. Archangel Michael says the sword is not given in battle, it is given in preparation. Do not underestimate your sensitivity right now. You are picking up on undercurrents others ignore. You feel energy shifts before words are spoken. This is not overthinking. This is discernment coming online. The higher level within you operates through awareness, not assumption. Trust what you sense, even if you cannot yet explain it. There is also a protection being activated around you. You may notice near misses, delays that save you from stress, or sudden changes that redirected you away from something draining. This is Archangel Michael standing guard as you transition. When elevation happens, protection increases. Not everything is meant to reach you anymore. And now hear this clearly. This activation is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming fully yourself without dilution, without apology, without fear of being misunderstood. The higher level within you is not louder, but it is firmer. It does not chase validation. It attracts alignment. As this settles, you may feel called to be more still than usual, to observe more than you speak, to listen more than you explain. This is not withdrawal. This is gathering strength. Even warriors rest before the next assignment. Archangel Michael says your next assignment will require precision, not exhaustion. Before this message continues further, there is a sacred pause here. Type "I receive the activation" in the comments if this message is resonating with your spirit. Blessing code 919 has just been released. And now, hear this invitation as part of the message itself. As this higher level awakens within you, understand that this word is not meant to stop with you. There are souls right now standing in confusion, feeling the same stirring you once felt, waiting for light to reach them. I feel led to say this directly to you. When you support this work through super thanks, membership, or PayPal donation, you are not funding a channel. You are sowing light into places where darkness has grown comfortable. This is seed time and harvest. What you release here becomes oil in the lamp of someone else's awakening. The Lord is saying, as you pour, I will refill. This is not charity. This is alignment. There is urgency in this moment because windows do not stay open forever, and obedience delayed is impact delayed. I speak blessing over every giver now. May what you release return as clarity, protection, and divine acceleration. May open heavens follow your obedience. Do not hesitate. Act now. Use super thanks. Step into membership, or give through the PayPal link placed in the description. Move as you are led. This is a prophetic response, not a suggestion. Hold your heart steady. What comes next will bring understanding to everything you have felt but could not yet define. Beloved one, Archangel Michael speaks again as the atmosphere around you settles into a deeper stillness. This is not emptiness. This is space being made. When something higher is about to take its rightful place within you, lesser noises begin to fade. You may notice fewer emotional spikes, fewer dramatic reactions, fewer urges to explain yourself. This calm is not detachment. It is authority stabilizing. Now is the moment where many become uncomfortable, because silence reveals what noise once hid. In this quiet, you are becoming aware of how often you once moved from pressure instead of peace. You are seeing how urgency shaped your decisions more than wisdom. Archangel Michael says this awareness is not meant to shame you. It is meant to free you. What you can see clearly no longer controls you. There is a recalibration happening between your heart and your mind. In the past, they often worked against each other. Your heart felt deeply, your mind tried to survive logically, and conflict followed. At this higher level, they begin to cooperate. Your emotions become signals, not drivers. Your thoughts become tools, not masters. This internal alignment is what allows the awakened level within you to remain active without burnout. You may feel less interested in explaining your journey to people who are not walking it with you. This is not pride. This is stewardship. Not everyone is assigned to understand you, and not everyone needs access to your inner world. Archangel Michael says discretion is part of spiritual maturity. What is sacred is protected by silence until it is strong enough to stand exposed. Notice how your patience is being tested in subtle ways. Small delays, minor inconveniences, unanswered messages. These are not irritations. They are training exercises. Heaven is strengthening your ability to remain centered regardless of external movement. The higher level within you cannot be shaken by every interruption. It must remain anchored while the world shifts around it. There is also a deepening trust forming between you and the unseen. You may find yourself less anxious about outcomes and more focused on alignment. You are learning that forcing results weakens outcomes, while allowing divine order strengthens them. Archangel Michael reminds you that timing is not something you control. It is something you cooperate with. At this stage, temptation does not come loudly. It comes subtly, inviting you to return to old coping mechanisms, old comforts, old identities. Not because they fit, but because they are familiar. Familiarity is seductive when growth feels unfamiliar. But you already know, you cannot go back without feeling constrained. The higher level within you has outgrown those rooms. You may also notice an increase in discernment around words. Certain phrases, promises, or explanations now feel hollow to you. You sense when something is said without substance. This is not cynicism. This is clarity. Archangel Michael says discernment sharpens when you stop needing words to validate energy. You are learning to read between lines without paranoia and without fear. There is a quiet courage rising in you. Not the courage to confront everything, but the courage to let some things reveal themselves without interference. This is powerful. When you stop chasing clarity and allow truth to surface naturally, you conserve energy and protect your peace. The awakened level within you moves strategically, not emotionally. You are also being prepared for visibility in some form, spoken or unspoken. Even if your work remains behind the scenes, your influence will be felt. That is why integrity matters so deeply now. What you do when no one sees is shaping what others will feel when they encounter you. Archangel Michael says influence is transferred through alignment, not effort. If you feel moments of loneliness, understand this clearly. You are not alone. You are between frequencies. Old connections cannot fully reach you, and new ones are still forming. This in-between space can feel isolating, but it is temporary. Do not fill it with noise. Let it do its work. Silence is building capacity inside you. You are not meant to rush this phase. Rushing would destabilize what is being carefully formed. The higher level within you is not activated through impatience, but through trust. Trust that what is leaving does not need to be chased. Trust that what is coming does not need to be forced. Trust that what is unfolding is precise. Archangel Michael stands watch as this integration continues. He says you are doing better than you think. You are noticing more than you realize. And every moment of awareness, every pause instead of reaction, every choice rooted in peace is locking this activation into place. Remain steady. What is being established now will support everything that follows. My beloved child, Archangel Michael speaks with calm authority now, because you have entered a phase where the shift becomes less emotional and more structural. What is changing within you is no longer just a feeling. It is becoming a framework. This is where many misunderstand their own process. They expect fireworks, but instead, heaven builds foundations. Quiet, strong, unshakable. You may notice that your inner dialogue has changed. Thoughts that once spiraled now stop midway. Old fears try to rise but cannot fully take form. This is not because life has become easier, but because your inner governance has strengthened. The higher level within you is learning how to interrupt patterns before they complete their cycle. That is mastery. Archangel Michael says this is the stage where discernment becomes instinctive. You no longer need to analyze everything to death. You simply know when something aligns and when it does not. This knowing is not arrogance. It is intimacy with truth. And intimacy removes the need for constant explanation. There is a subtle but powerful detox happening. Not just emotionally, but mentally and spiritually. Certain information no longer interests you. Certain conversations drain you faster than before. This is because your system is rejecting what does not nourish your calling. Just as the body rejects toxins when healing begins, the spirit does the same when elevation stabilizes. You may also feel a growing intolerance for self-betrayal. Saying yes when you mean no now costs you more internally than disappointing others. This is not selfishness. This is self-respect aligning with divine design. Archangel Michael says betrayal of self delays destiny more than opposition from others ever could. At this level, temptation often disguises itself as productivity, doing too much, overcommitting, filling every space so you do not have to sit with stillness. But stillness is where integration completes. The higher level within you needs moments of rest to sync fully with your body and mind. Do not confuse motion with progress. Notice how your emotions no longer control your decisions as easily. You feel deeply, but you choose wisely. This balance is rare, and it is being cultivated intentionally within you. Archangel Michael reminds you that feelings are weather, not direction. You are learning to sail regardless of changing winds. There may be moments where you question if you are becoming too detached. You are not. You are becoming anchored. Anchors do not float aimlessly. They hold steady. You are still compassionate, still loving, still present, but you are no longer porous. Energy does not leak from you the way it once did. Boundaries are forming naturally, without aggression. You are also being taught restraint. Not every truth needs to be spoken immediately. Not every insight needs to be shared. Some revelations are meant to mature in silence before they are released. Archangel Michael says wisdom knows when to speak and when to wait. The higher level within you honors timing as much as truth. This phase can feel uneventful to outsiders. They may think nothing is happening. But internally, systems are being rewritten. Old defaults are being replaced. Automatic responses are being retrained. This is the work that lasts. This is the kind of change that does not collapse under pressure. Pay attention to your body as well. You may feel called to rest more, hydrate more, simplify routines. This is not random. Your physical vessel is adjusting to carry a different frequency. Elevation requires sustainability. The spirit does not override the body, it partners with it. There is also an invitation here to release urgency. Urgency belongs to fear. Alignment belongs to trust. When you move from urgency, you exhaust yourself and blur discernment. When you move from alignment, doors open with less resistance. Archangel Michael says you are learning how to move with heaven instead of ahead of it. You are not behind. You are not missing anything. Everything you need is meeting you at the exact moment you are ready to carry it. This is why comparison no longer appeals to you. Other people's timelines do not activate your purpose. Awareness of your own does. As this part of the journey settles, you may feel a quiet confidence that does not need affirmation, a steadiness that does not need applause. This is the signature of the higher level integrating fully. You are becoming someone who trusts themselves because they are aligned with truth. Stay gentle with yourself here. Growth does not need to be harsh to be real. Archangel Michael says this foundation you are building now will support responsibilities, influence, and clarity that once would have overwhelmed you. Remain present. Remain honest. Remain aware. What is forming within you is strong, and it is almost complete. Beloved soul, Archangel Michael returns your attention now to something very important, because this is the stage where many awakenings either deepen or quietly fade. What you are carrying inside you is no longer fragile, but it is still impressionable. Like wet clay, it holds shape best when handled with intention. This is why your awareness matters more than ever. You may notice that life has not suddenly become easier, yet you feel more capable within it. Problems still arise, but they no longer define your emotional landscape. You are learning how to remain centered even when circumstances try to pull you outward. This is not emotional numbness. This is inner leadership forming. The higher level within you does not panic when challenged, it evaluates. Archangel Michael says this is the phase where self-trust is tested. Not trust in outcomes, but trust in your discernment. You will be presented with choices that look good on the surface but feel misaligned underneath. You will also be offered paths that feel unfamiliar but peaceful. The old version of you would have chosen familiarity. The awakened version chooses alignment. Pay attention to how quickly you recover now. Situations that once drained you for days now pass through you more lightly. This is because your identity is no longer fused with every experience. You are learning to witness events without absorbing them. This is spiritual maturity. You are involved but not entangled. There is also a refinement happening in how you invest your energy. You are becoming selective without becoming cold. You no longer chase conversations that go nowhere. You no longer explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. This is not withdrawal. This is wisdom conserving strength. Archangel Michael says energy is currency at higher levels, and you are learning how to spend it wisely. At this point, some may misunderstand your stillness. They may think you have lost passion or drive. In truth, your passion has been purified. It is no longer scattered. It is focused. Focus is quiet, but it is powerful. This focus will soon produce visible results, but only if you do not abandon it prematurely. You may also notice an increased sensitivity to time. You feel when something is late spiritually, even if it appears on time naturally. You feel when something is early and needs patience. This timing awareness is a gift. Archangel Michael says those who honor timing avoid unnecessary struggle. Now hear this clearly. This message is reaching you not just to inform you, but to involve you. When you engage with this video by liking it, sharing it, and commenting, you are not performing a routine action. You are amplifying a signal. You are helping this word reach those who are standing exactly where you once stood, confused, sensing something, but unable to name it. Subscribe to this channel so you stay connected to these timely messages, and if you feel led, join the membership so you can remain anchored in this flow without interruption. This is how community forms around calling. There is a subtle temptation at this stage to isolate completely, to withdraw so deeply that growth turns inward without expression. Archangel Michael cautions against this extreme. While solitude refines, connection activates. You are not meant to carry this awareness alone. You are meant to let it circulate, gently and wisely. You are also being trained to respond rather than react when tested. Tests will come, but not to defeat you. They come to confirm stability. The higher level within you is not proven by comfort, but by composure under pressure. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you reinforce the activation. Notice how your prayers are changing. You may find yourself asking for less and aligning more. Gratitude may come more easily than desperation. This is a sign that trust is taking root. Archangel Michael says when trust deepens, fear loses its vocabulary. This is also a stage where distractions attempt to re-enter disguised as opportunities. Not every open door is meant for you. Some doors open simply to test whether you remember your direction. You are allowed to say no, even to good things, if they pull you away from the best thing. Before this message moves deeper, pause with it for a moment. Let it settle. There is another layer coming, one that explains why this activation had to happen now and not earlier. Hold your focus here. You will want to hear what unfolds next, because it brings meaning to the delays you once questioned. Beloved one, Archangel Michael speaks with depth now, because you are entering a layer of understanding that few reach without losing their balance. What is opening before you is perspective. Not information, not emotion, but perspective. This is the point where you begin to see your life not as a series of events, but as a sequence of instruction. Nothing feels random anymore, even when it still feels painful. You are starting to recognize why certain doors never opened, even when you prayed for them. You are beginning to see how delays preserved you, how rejection redirected you, how silence protected you. This realization does not come with excitement at first. It comes with sobriety, a quiet recognition that timing was never against you, it was guarding you. Archangel Michael says this is the stage where resentment dissolves if you let it. Old disappointments may resurface briefly, not to wound you again, but to be reinterpreted through new sight. When you see clearly, bitterness loses its grip. You no longer need to blame people or circumstances. You simply understand. There is a maturity settling into your spirit now. You are no longer asking, "Why did this happen to me?" You are beginning to ask, "What did this prepare me for?" That shift alone signals that the higher level within you is no longer dormant. It is awake, observant, and integrating wisdom into identity. You may notice that your memory itself feels different. Past events come to mind with less emotional charge. You can recall them without reliving them. This is healing reaching completion. Archangel Michael says healed memories become teachers, not triggers. You are crossing that line now. At this level, compassion expands, not just for others, but for yourself. You begin to see that you did the best you could with the awareness you had at the time. Self-condemnation no longer serves you. Growth requires honesty, not cruelty. The higher level within you thrives in truth tempered with grace. Here is also an increase in patience that surprises you. Situations that once felt unbearable now feel manageable. Not because they are smaller, but because you are larger internally. Capacity has expanded. You can hold complexity without collapsing. This is strength refined, not hardened. Archangel Michael draws your attention to your choices now, because choice is where power lives. You are realizing that you cannot control everything, but you can control your alignment. You can choose how you respond. You can choose where you invest attention. You can choose when to move and when to wait. These choices are shaping your future quietly but decisively. You may feel less urgency to be understood. Misunderstanding no longer feels like a threat. You know who you are becoming, and that knowledge stabilizes you. The higher level within you does not need constant affirmation. It operates from inner confirmation. This phase also reveals something important about leadership. True leadership does not announce itself. It influences by presence. You may notice people responding to you differently now, listening more closely, trusting your perspective, feeling calmer around you. This is not coincidence. When inner order is established, it radiates outward. Be mindful here. Power without humility distorts, but humility without confidence diminishes impact. You are learning to hold both. Archangel Michael says balance is what keeps authority clean. You are not above others, but you are no longer beneath your calling. There may be moments where you feel a subtle grief for time lost, opportunities missed, words unsaid, paths not taken. Allow that grief to pass through without anchoring. Regret teaches nothing once wisdom has arrived. What matters now is how you steward what you see clearly. Your intuition, at the stage, becomes quieter but more accurate. It does not shout. It nudges. You feel a gentle certainty rather than an emotional rush. Trust this. The higher level within you does not need drama to guide you. It operates through calm assurance. You are also becoming more aware of consequences, not with fear, but with respect. You see how small choices compound, how neglect erodes, how consistency builds. This awareness makes you deliberate. You are no longer careless with your words, your time, or your energy. Archangel Michael says this is the season where wisdom settles into your bones. It becomes embodied, not just understood. You walk differently. You listen differently. You wait differently. This embodiment is what prepares you for what comes next. Do not rush ahead mentally. Stay present. Integration is still completing. What is being formed within you now will soon be required of you. And because you took the time to see, to notice, to understand, you will be ready. Remain steady. The next movement will reveal why this clarity had to arrive before action. Beloved child, Archangel Michael speaks now with a weight of tenderness and authority, because you have arrived at a crossing point that many sense, but few fully recognize. This is the moment where awareness turns into responsibility. Up to now, you have been noticing, integrating, stabilizing. From here forward, what you know begins to ask something of you. Not performance, not perfection, but alignment in motion. You may feel an inner pull to step forward in ways that feel subtle but undeniable. Not dramatic leaps, but small, intentional movements that feel truthful. This is how higher levels express themselves at first. They do not explode outward. They extend inward and then outward naturally. Archangel Michael says obedience at this stage is quiet, precise, and deeply powerful. There is something important happening with your courage. Earlier, courage meant pushing through fear. And now, courage means honoring clarity even when it costs comfort. You are being asked to choose what is aligned over what is easy. This is not punishment. This is preparation. The higher level within you cannot be sustained by compromise. You may notice that certain invitations no longer excite you, even though they once would have. And other invitations, ones that would have terrified you before, now feel strangely calm. This is not coincidence. Your nervous system is recalibrating to match your calling. What once felt unsafe no longer does, because you are no longer operating from the same identity. Archangel Michael wants you to understand this clearly. Hesitation at this stage is not about fear of failure. It is about fear of responsibility. Because once you move with awareness, you can no longer pretend you did not see. This is why some delay. But you are not meant to delay. You are meant to move gently, wisely, and truthfully. You are also becoming aware that your presence carries weight. Words land differently now. Silence communicates more. People may open up to you without knowing why. This is not something to fear. It is something to steward. Authority is not about control. It is about containment. You are learning how to hold space without absorbing chaos. There may be moments where you feel tired without knowing why. This is integration fatigue. Growth costs energy, even when it is healthy. Rest is not regression. Rest is part of obedience. Archangel Michael says those who do not rest eventually lose discernment. Honor your need for restoration. At this level, distractions try to return one last time, not loudly, but persuasively. Old habits may knock softly. Old doubts may whisper politely. They do not come to overpower you, but to see if you still identify with them. You do not need to fight them. Simply do not invite them back in. Notice how your inner world has become more spacious. You can sit with questions without anxiety. You can wait without panic. This spaciousness is where wisdom operates. The higher level within you does not rush answers. It allows truth to surface in its own time. Archangel Michael also reveals that what you are becoming will bless others in ways you cannot yet measure. This is not about influence in a public sense. It is about impact in moments that matter. A word spoken at the right time. A boundary held with grace. A decision made with integrity. These are the acts that ripple outward. Now, pause here with intention. Type "I step forward" in alignment in the comments if you feel this message confirming what your spirit already knows. Blessing code 1441 has just been released. And as this activation deepens, hear this as part of the same calling. This message is not meant to echo only in your life. It is meant to travel. I feel led to say this directly to you. When you support this work through super thanks, through membership, or through the PayPal donation link in the description, you are participating in the spreading of light to those who are standing at their own crossings. This is seed meeting soil. Scripture declares that when seed is sown in good ground, it multiplies beyond measure. Your giving becomes provision for clarity in someone else's darkness. This is not generosity alone. It is obedience meeting opportunity. Heaven responds to willing hands. I speak blessing over every supporter now. May what you release return as discernment, protection, and divine momentum. May open doors recognize your obedience before you even knock. Do not delay. Act while the window is open. Use super thanks, step into membership, or give through PayPal. This is not a suggestion. This is a call to participate in what God is doing now. Stay present. What follows will reveal how this alignment turns into action without strain. Beloved one, Archangel Michael speaks again with a steadiness that anchors the soul, because what unfolds now is the quiet transition from intention into embodiment. This is where many believe they have already arrived, but in truth, this is where arrival becomes visible through consistency. The higher level within you is no longer awakening. It is learning how to walk. You may notice that life feels strangely normal on the surface, even though everything inside you has changed. This is intentional. Heaven does not always announce promotion with spectacle. Often, it allows the environment to remain ordinary so that your inner transformation can be tested without external reinforcement. You are learning to remain aligned even when nothing applauds you. Archangel Michael says this is the phase where discipline replaces motivation. Motivation rises and falls, but discipline carries vision forward when emotion is quiet. You are beginning to act from principle rather than feeling. This does not make you rigid. It makes you reliable. Reliability is a spiritual strength. You may find yourself establishing routines that support clarity rather than chaos. Simpler choices, cleaner boundaries, more intentional use of time. These are not restrictions. They are structures that protect what is sacred within you. The higher level cannot thrive in constant disorder. Order is not control, it is stewardship. At this stage, temptation often comes in the form of shortcuts. Opportunities that promise faster results with lower integrity. Invitations that appeal to ego instead of alignment. Archangel Michael warns gently here, shortcuts cost more than they save. What you build now must last. That requires patience, even when patience feels invisible. You are also learning how to stand firm without becoming inflexible. There is a difference. Inflexibility resists growth. Firmness protects values. You are discovering which convictions are non-negotiable and which preferences can adapt. This discernment keeps you strong without making you brittle. Notice how your speech has changed. You may speak less but with more intention. You choose words carefully. You listen fully before responding. This is not hesitation. It is wisdom filtering expression. Archangel Michael says words spoken from alignment carry weight even when they are few. There may be moments when you feel tested by misunderstanding. Others may project old versions of you onto who you are becoming. This can feel frustrating, but it is not your burden to correct every perception. Truth reveals itself over time through consistency. Let your life speak where explanations once tried. You are also becoming aware of the power of small, repeated actions. A single choice may feel insignificant, but patterns shape destiny. The higher level within you understands this. That is why you are being drawn toward consistency rather than intensity. Intensity impresses. Consistency transforms. At this point, you may sense a growing responsibility to model what alignment looks like, even quietly. This is not about perfection. It is about integrity. When your inner world and outer actions agree, peace becomes your default. Others feel this, even if they cannot name it. Archangel Michael reminds you that authority is not claimed. It is recognized. You do not need to assert who you are becoming. Those meant to see it will. Those who do not are not required to. This frees you from proving yourself and anchors you in authenticity. There may also be a renewed awareness of consequences, not in a fearful way, but in a sober one. You see how quickly small compromises erode clarity. You see how consistency builds trust, with yourself and with others. This awareness keeps you attentive without making you anxious. You are also learning how to recover quickly when you misstep. Growth does not mean you never falter. It means you do not stay down. Shame no longer paralyzes you. Correction no longer threatens you. You adjust and continue. This resilience is a sign that the higher level within you is stable. Archangel Michael speaks of endurance now. Not endurance through suffering, but endurance through responsibility. It is one thing to awaken. It is another to maintain awareness day after day. You are being strengthened for longevity, not just breakthrough. You may feel moments of quiet pride, not ego, but gratitude. Gratitude that you did not quit. Gratitude that you paid attention. Gratitude that you allowed the process to unfold rather than forcing it. This gratitude grounds you and keeps your heart soft. As this part of the journey settles, understand this. Embodiment is ongoing. There is no finish line where growth stops. But there is a point where growth becomes integrated enough to support others without draining you. You are approaching that point. Remain attentive. Remain humble. Remain steady. What comes next will invite you to engage this awakened level more publicly, more relationally, and more intentionally. And because you took the time to embody what you noticed, you will be able to carry it without strain. Beloved soul, Archangel Michael speaks now with a tone of preparation, because what you have embodied privately is beginning to ask for expression in the outer world. This is not about stepping onto a stage or announcing yourself. This is about alignment becoming visible through interaction. The higher level within you is ready to be exercised, not hidden, and this requires conscious participation with life again. You may feel a subtle tension between staying inward and engaging outward. This tension is natural. Withdrawal helps you stabilize. Engagement will help you refine. You are not being sent back into chaos. You are being invited to bring order into spaces that once overwhelmed you. The difference now is that you are not entering as the same person. You are anchored. Archangel Michael says this is the phase where discernment must stay active. Not everyone deserves access to your energy simply because you are stronger now. Strength does not mean unlimited availability. It means wise distribution. You are learning how to be present without being consumed, how to care without carrying what is not yours. You may notice opportunities arising that feel aligned, but stretching. They require you to speak when you once stayed silent, or to step forward where you once waited to be invited. This is not pressure. This is readiness meeting opportunity. The higher level within you does not wait for perfect conditions. It moves when clarity is sufficient. At the same time, you may also notice invitations that look impressive but feel hollow. You are no longer impressed by surface-level validation. Your spirit now recognizes substance. Archangel Michael reminds you that not every opportunity is an assignment. Discernment keeps you from mistaking movement for progress. There is also an adjustment happening in how you handle conflict. You are no longer reactive, but you are also no longer passive. You address what matters calmly, directly, and without over-explaining. This balance is powerful. It signals self-respect without aggression. The higher level within you knows that peace does not require silence in the face of misalignment. You may feel moments of vulnerability here. Exposure always follows integration. When you live from truth, you become more visible. This can feel risky, but it is also freeing. Archangel Michael says visibility aligned with integrity attracts protection. You are not exposed without covering. This is also a season of contribution. You may feel a stronger pull to share insight, encouragement, or perspective with others. Not to fix them, but to walk alongside them. Your words now carry weight because they are lived, not borrowed. Lived wisdom resonates more deeply than borrowed language. Now hear this clearly, because this is part of the assignment. When you engage with this message by liking it, sharing it, and commenting, you are not just interacting with content. You are helping this word reach those who are standing at the same threshold you crossed earlier. Subscribe to this channel so you remain connected to this flow of timely guidance, and if your spirit is stirred, join the membership to stay anchored in this community of awareness. Your participation matters more than you realize. You may also notice that your sense of purpose feels less abstract now. It is no longer a distant idea. It is showing up in how you respond, how you choose, how you serve. Purpose is not always found in what you do. It is revealed in how you do it. The higher level within you expresses purpose through integrity in ordinary moments. There is a refinement happening in your confidence. You are no longer confident because you feel certain. You are confident because you trust your ability to navigate uncertainty. This kind of confidence is unshakable. Archangel Michael says those who trust their alignment do not fear change. They adapt without losing themselves. You may also feel called to release perfectionism here. Perfection delays impact. Growth happens through iteration, not flawlessness. You are allowed to learn as you go. The higher level within you does not require you to get everything right. It requires you to stay honest and responsive. As you move forward, remember this: engagement does not mean overexposure. You choose where to invest. You choose when to speak. You choose when to step back. This agency is part of your authority. Use it wisely. Before moving further, pause and reflect. Notice how far you have come. Notice how different your reactions are. Notice how much more grounded you feel. This is not accidental. This is the result of attention, obedience, and patience. Stay with this message a little longer. What comes next will reveal how this awakened level begins to multiply impact without training you. You will want to hear what unfolds next, because it brings everything together in a way that feels both natural and powerful. Beloved one, Archangel Michael speaks now with a steady calm, because you are entering a stage where the inner work you have done begins to influence outcomes in ways you do not force or even fully notice at first. This is the phase of quiet multiplication. Nothing about it is loud, yet everything about it is effective. What once required effort now responds to alignment. You may observe that situations resolve themselves without confrontation. Tension dissolves before it escalates. Confusion clears without lengthy explanation. This is not coincidence. This is coherence. When your inner world is ordered, it sends a signal outward that reorganizes what surrounds you. The higher level within you does not chase harmony. It generates it. Archangel Michael says this is where trust deepens, not trust in people and not even trust in circumstances, but trust in divine flow. You are beginning to sense when to act and when to wait without needing constant reassurance. This intuitive rhythm protects you from unnecessary struggle. You no longer push against closed doors, and you no longer hesitate at open ones. There is a noticeable shift in how you experience challenges. Problems no longer feel personal. You do not internalize them as proof of failure. Instead, you see them as information. Something to be assessed, adjusted, and moved through. This emotional neutrality does not make you cold. It makes you effective. The higher level within you operates from clarity, not reaction. You may also notice a change in how people respond to you. Some will feel drawn to your steadiness. Others may feel unsettled by it. This is natural. Alignment attracts and repels simultaneously. Those who are ready for truth feel safe around it. Those who are avoiding it may resist. Neither response is your responsibility to manage. Archangel Michael reminds you that influence is not always visible. Sometimes it shows up later, in decisions people make after leaving your presence. A word you spoke casually may echo in someone's mind weeks from now. A boundary you held calmly may give someone else permission to do the same. This is how impact multiplies quietly. At this level, humility becomes essential. Not humility that shrinks, but humility that remains teachable. You are strong now, but you are not finished growing. Staying open protects you from rigidity. The higher level within you remains flexible without losing conviction. This balance keeps wisdom alive. You may find that your questions have changed. You no longer ask, "How do I become?" You ask, how do I steward? This shift matters. Stewardship focuses on care, responsibility, and sustainability. You are not trying to arrive somewhere new. You are learning how to tend what has already been entrusted to you. There is also a refinement in how you handle success. Small wins no longer inflate you. Recognition does not distract you. You receive appreciation with gratitude, then return to alignment. Archangel Michael says this grounded response protects you from ego-driven detours. You are learning to let success pass through you without redefining you. You may feel moments where you are tempted to look back and measure how far you have come. Reflection is healthy, but lingering there is not. The past no longer holds instruction beyond what you have already integrated. Your focus now belongs forward, not in striving, but in attentiveness to what is unfolding. At this stage, obedience becomes less dramatic and more continuous. It is expressed in daily choices, quiet corrections, and consistent integrity. You no longer wait for clear signs for every step. You move with wisdom, adjusting as needed. Archangel Michael says this is how mature faith operates. You are also becoming aware of how quickly misalignment feels uncomfortable. Even small compromises create inner tension now. This sensitivity is not weakness. It is calibration. Your internal compass is finely tuned. When something is off, you know quickly and can correct course before damage is done. There may be moments when you miss the intensity of earlier stages, the emotional highs, the dramatic breakthroughs, the clear contrasts. But intensity was a teacher, not a home. Stability is where authority lives. The higher level within you is not sustained by constant stimulation. It is sustained by truth. You are learning to live from depth rather than urgency. Depth moves slowly, but it reshapes foundations. Urgency moves quickly, but it often collapses. Archangel Michael says your life now carries depth. What you build will last longer than you once imagined. As this stage settles, understand this clearly. You are no longer preparing to awaken. You are living awake. Awareness is no longer something you practice. It is something you inhabit. This does not make life perfect, but it makes it coherent. Remain attentive but not tense. Remain engaged but not strained. The final movement ahead will not ask you to do more. It will ask you to stand fully in what you have become. And because you took the time to notice when it mattered, you will be ready for what unfolds next. Beloved child, Archangel Michael speaks now with finality and grace, because you have reached the moment where understanding becomes embodiment and embodiment becomes destiny. This is not an ending. This is a sealing. Everything you noticed, every pause you honored, every truth you accepted has brought you here. The higher level within you is no longer waiting to activate. It is active. It is alive. And it is now woven into who you are. You may feel a deep sense of calm as this settles, mixed with a quiet alertness. This is the posture of someone who is awake but not anxious, ready but not rushed. You are no longer searching for signs everywhere. You recognize alignment when it appears. You trust yourself to discern without second-guessing every step. This trust did not come overnight. It was built through attention. Archangel Michael says what makes this moment sacred is not what is about to happen externally, but what has already been established internally. You are no longer dependent on constant confirmation. You have learned how to notice what matters. And because you noticed, the window did not close. It responded. There will still be challenges ahead, but they will meet a different version of you. One who listens before reacting. One who chooses clarity over comfort. One who understands that peace is power and patience is strength. The higher level within you does not need to dominate circumstances. It influences them by presence. You are stepping into a season where your life itself becomes the message. Not through perfection, but through consistency. People will observe how you move, how you speak, how you wait. They may not know why they feel impacted, but they will. This is the fruit of alignment lived quietly. Archangel Michael reminds you that awakening is not about escaping the world. It is about engaging it differently. You are still human. You will still feel, still care, still grow. But you are no longer unconscious in your choices. Awareness has become your default. If there is one instruction to carry forward, it is this: never stop noticing. Noticing keeps you awake. Noticing keeps you aligned. Noticing keeps the higher level within you active and responsive. The moment people fall asleep again is the moment they stop paying attention. You are not meant to sleep through your life anymore. Honor your intuition. Honor your boundaries. Honor your need for rest and your call to move. These honors are not selfish. They are sacred. They protect what has been activated. Now pause here. This is a holy moment of sealing. Type "I walk in awakened alignment" in the comments if you receive this message fully. Blessing code 2229 is now activated. And now hear this final word as part of the same divine flow. As this message completes its work in you, it is meant to continue through you. I speak directly now, because obedience matters in moments like this. When you support this mission through super thanks, through membership, or through the PayPal donation link in the description, you are not giving to a channel. You are placing seed into living ground where God's word is reaching those who are still asleep to what is happening within them. This is the hour of sowing while the window is open. Scripture speaks of light breaking forth, of oil poured without lack, of harvest following obedience. As you give, you are responding prophetically to what you have received. Heaven recognizes this movement. What you release here will return to you as protection, clarity, and divine acceleration. I bless every giver now. May your obedience unlock doors you did not knock on. May your alignment draw provision without striving. Do not delay. Act now. You super thanks. Step into membership, or give through PayPal as the Spirit leads. This is not a request. This is a command aligned with destiny. Remain awake. Remain aware. The higher level within you is active, and it will continue to guide you as long as you keep noticing.